All right, sorry guys, I'm back now. The person that I am hoping to do this with and have a conversation with, it's quite possible that they are a technological Luddite, but you know, who knows? All right, let me just go on here. He just has to request me, and he's like, "Oh, there he is."
Can you see me, buddy?
Yeah, man. How you
Let me
doing?
get those glasses on. How are you, brother?
I'm very good, thank you. How are you? Everyone, if you don't already know, this is Michael Rosenbaum.
All right, guys. I didn't shower today. Good afternoon.
I've been wearing the same thing for 3 days.
Really? I was thinking about wearing this. Hang on. Stay there for a second, buddy.
Okay.
What do you think of this, man? Just with the Corona thing going on, I thought maybe, you know, I got this at a convention once, and
What are those from?
I don't know. It seems like it might be from the Road Warrior movies, the franchise.
Okay, I've never seen those. Is that with Mel Gibson?
I think so. You never seen the Road Warrior, the original Road Warrior, Mad Max?
No, I haven't.
Wow, dude! Now you have time.
I know. What are you watching? Are you doing any big rewatches?
Rewatches of what? Like old movies?
Yeah.
You know what's a great one? Did you ever see The Warriors?
No.
It's about a gang.
No, I know what it's about. I can't believe that I'm actually kind of mad that I haven't seen it. It's like Warriors.
I think I'd be that guy and you'd be the lead to the Warriors. Like if we redid it, I'd be like, no, Steven, it was them. It was you. You killed the Warriors.
So how you doing, man? How you holding up?
I'm doing all right, man. I'm taking vitamins. I'm quarantining myself. You know, shit hit the fan this weekend. But, you know, I have this friend who always sends me these, you know, these negative things. This is happening. You need. So I'm trying to just promote some kind of optimism.
Yeah.
Not that it's optimistic, but when you think, like, hey, look, older people and sick people are this is. We have to be careful not to get them sick. Or give it to them. Yeah. But I'm also trying to send things like, hey, there's this. They're working on this cocktail, and Elon Musk is working on something, and they're trying to come up with something. They're working fast, and we'll have some answers. And you know, you just hope for the best. You hope that we're not doing this for months and months.
Yeah.
Could you do it? Could you do it? Could you just quarantine yourself for 2 months inside your place right now?
Well, I think the biggest thing is that I'm just simply going to listen to what people are telling me to do, right? And try not to do anything selfish. If people say don't go out, then I'm not going to go out.
But that wasn't, you know, they were just saying that until like recently. It wasn't like, you know, I got yelled at because they're like, you went to a convention in Mexico. I'm like, they said there were 40 cases in Mexico, and I didn't know that it was. I hit hand sanitizer. I wore a mask.
Did you? Huh? I mean, I was just in Chicago at C2E2, and I know that was a little bit before this was going on. But, I mean, I met 4,000 people.
And you're fine.
Yeah.
See, the reality is, though, you're a healthy young man. Mm-hmm. So, of course, most people are going to be healthy. But if you got in contact, if you get it with an old, right, that's the problem.
Well, then, I mean, the thing is that there are a lot of people that get it that are our age that aren't symptomatic, right? So therein lies the problem.
Yeah.
That just because you're feeling great, like until they say otherwise, like my mom's up in Toronto. She and her husband John have like a cottage north of the city, and they're there and they're quarantined. But if she was here, I can't really go over and see her. She's 65.
Yeah. My grandma's 91, man, and my uncle who lives around the corner goes, you can't come over. Because, like, his wife has a cold. It's just like, my grandmother's like, I'm isolated. I'm 91. She goes, I'd rather be dead than be quarantined. I might as well be. But she's like, she exaggerates it, but I'm trying to keep her calm. Yeah. I can't even send her flowers. I was going, wait, what if somebody has it and they deliver flowers and then.
Yeah, I do think that cases are going to go up, but then once things level off, which they seem to do in countries where it's kind of like in China, it's leveling off. It's not that there aren't new cases. You know, the places that were hit earlier, like South Korea, it's leveling off. So I
Right.
think that people will get a little bit more calm once things start to level off. But I have no idea how long it's going to last. Absolutely none.
Yeah, I don't either. I just, now's the time. Here's the thing. How many people out there? Hi, guys, by the way. Hi, all Stephen Amell's fans. I'm Michael
A
Rosenbaum.
lot of your fans too.
Well, I'm sure they listened to the podcast when I interviewed you. That was it was the best podcast I've ever done, by the way. So you guys should listen to it. But what was I saying?
Well, we were just talking about how long this is going to last. I think that it could last a long time.
Oh yeah. What I was saying was that we're always hoping, gosh, I work too much. I wish I could have a break. Gosh, I just need to catch up on things. Well, if this is probably the time, if you're able to be home or you are quarantined or whatever, to get some shit done. Catch up on your sleep, catch up on your reading, on your life, make calls, call your family, call your loved ones, play board games, go back in time, go back to the 80s when we didn't have can
we bring Netflix back to the 80s with us though, please?
Can we bring Although, I still have VHS things. I mean, you've seen my house.
Yeah.
But I have lots of toys.
Yeah.
Yeah, you've seen a lot of those,
Yeah.
So it's kind of like a little museum here. So I don't get lonely. I have my dolls and things, Stephen.
Are you a germaphobe at all?
I sort of am. When somebody sneezes in the car, I roll down the window and I put my head out and go, oh, come on. That and a fart. But I think we're all germaphobes to a certain degree. Like when I go into when you're in a bus or you're in a subway, I don't want to put my hand on that pole. That didn't sound right. That didn't look right or sound right. But I want to wrap my elbow around it and or I want to just free fall side to side there, Stephen. I don't want to touch anything.
Yeah.
But I'm not like, what's his name? What's the guy from Howie Mandel?
Yeah. So before all of this, like if societal norms are going to be like, listen, you got to wash your hands more often, you got to do this stuff, but like aside from going to the bathroom, I never wash my hands. When people would offer me hand sanitizer at cons, like I just like, no, I'm good, and I never get sick.
Wait, you don't wash your hands when you go to the bathroom?
No, I do. Aside from when I go to the bathroom.
Oh, aside
from when I go to the bathroom, I always wash my hands when I go to the bathroom. But aside from that, I never. Not before meals. I don't know.
Like you said.
Yeah, well, I'm glad we reconfirmed that because my assistant Jessica's going, yeah, it did sound like he said that at first. So I'm glad we went back.
Yes. You
don't want to hear Stephen Amell doesn't wash his hands.
I wash my hands. I wash my hands. Look at how clean these fucking things are.
I mean, those are some big myths you got there,
Thank you, buddy.
Pretty good.
How we talk a lot about this when we did our podcast, but how have you found social anxiety in a time like this?
Well, it's funny because obviously we always talk about anxiety on the show. You had an anxiety attack on the show.
I did.
Yeah. By the way, check this out, guys out there. If you're listening, if you haven't even heard of my podcast, check out Stephen. And Stephen, he loves this podcast, so maybe you'll love it as well.
Oh, good. You popped it on there. Yeah, guys, it's called Inside of You. You can look it up on iTunes, wherever you get your podcast. And I came back on your show, and it was before the Christmas break, and I had a full-on fire panic attack during your podcast. And then I came back in the new year and finished it. I started talking with someone about that, and he's been really, really helpful to just basically explaining that what is happening when you go through panic, it really is like a metaphysical thing. You're not dying. And if you can identify all of those things, because as this stuff has been happening, I found my anxiety levels to be incredibly high.
Yep.
But I also know that is just something that's going on with my body, and as opposed to going down from it, I've just been breathing into it. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Well, I remember a therapist told me, they're like, are you healthy? I'm like, yeah. When's the last time you got blood work and stuff? I go, like a couple months ago. Okay. How about your heart? Yeah, I got my heart checked. So, okay. So if you really think about it, if you are having a panic attack and you sit there and just start breathing and going, I know I'm healthy. Yeah. I know I'm not having a heart attack. I know my, you start thinking about things. It actually helps because you realize I'm healthy. There's nothing going on. This is in my mind. This is for whatever reason. I'm thinking too far ahead. I'm worrying about something that hasn't happened. So for me, I just start to say, dude, breathe. You're forgetting to breathe. And remember, you're a healthy guy. Just relax. This is normal. And sometimes just embrace it instead of fighting it. Just go, all right. Dude, but I'm telling you, I can't tell you how many people came up to me like, dude, Steven's, him having an anxiety attack and letting me air that. I remember I emailed you, I go, dude, I'll erase it, whatever you want. You go, let me hear the raw footage. And I go, all right. And you go, I'm good. I want to come back and talk about it. So play the first half of me having an anxiety attack. Dude, that right there, you don't know how many people come up to me and said, that helped me so much. Hearing someone like you have it. It was awesome, dude.
I mean, I had people reach out to people that I know to try to get in touch with me to say thank you. It was really cool. It was
I'm
really,
glad
really
you
cool.
did it, man.
I'm not happy it happened, but if you're going to take something like that, make a positive out of it.
Well, I told you, man, so many times. Thank you. I mean, so many times I've had a panic attack and I tried to hide it because I was embarrassed. I was like, hey, guys, I got to go take a crap on set. I think I told you this. And they're like, oh, Rosie, we're doing your close-up. And I go, yeah, I don't know, man. I just got to really crap. So I'm trying to be funny. And then I go then I look like a meth head. I'm in my trailer digging for a Xanax, doing anything I can. Like, Jesus, there's a knock on my door. Hey, Rosie, you okay in there? Yeah, I'm still crapping. And it's just like, so when you go on there, it makes people go, hey, I think next time something like that happens, I know I would say, hey, you know what, guys, I'm having a little panic attack. It's going to subside. So I just need to get comfortable and relax a little bit, but I'm freaking myself out. I think people can relate. It's amazing how many people around you could go, oh.
Yeah. I found, for me, a lot of it tends to be driven by uncertainty, right? Like now. Ago, not today's Wednesday, right?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. So not this past Tuesday, but a week ago Tuesday, I went out to dinner with Mike O'Malley, who's the showrunner on my new show Heels, and Alexander Ludwig, who's playing my younger brother. Super dude, by the way. Very excited.
I can't wait to see that, by the way. That's going to be good.
But I had anxiety because I knew that things were going to get canceled, right? So it was that uncertainty of going, no, I know this is going to happen, but I was supposed to fly to Atlanta on Sunday. And it's like, I know I should cancel my flight, but someone needs to tell me that it's canceled or postponed. But I fucking know it's going to get canceled. And that was just like a self-perpetuating thing.
I do that too. And I'm sort of like a child like that, where it's just like, I sometimes just want somebody to just say, I want somebody to just go, you can't do that. What? What do you mean I can't? Why can't I do it? It's like, you just can't do that. I'm like, oh, okay. Because it's dangerous if you do that. And okay. Because sometimes I'm like, oh, well, I want to go do this job and I want to continue my life and I made this obligation to do my life podcast. And I was like, okay, hey, this is the reality. And by the way, I think it's just so important. Like, omniscient is the word. We're not omniscient. We don't know everything. Mm-hmm. So we're learning all these things as they come, and we're taking it for what it's worth. Like, oh, I believe that, or oh, it's just this person's gonna, or it gets so chaotic, and then everybody's pointing fingers, and then it becomes just chaos. Yeah, I think everybody just needs to like chill, and people do need to chill. You need to lean on the people that are close to you. You need to keep interacting with people, even if you have to do it differently than being in the same room as them. Yep. But, at the same time, we were a little bit too chill and maybe arrogant in the beginning. 100%. I'm not trying to take a victory lap on this one, but I mean, I heard about this. The Daily did a podcast. That's another fantastic podcast, by the way. The Daily, it's a New York Times podcast, comes out every morning. And they're also putting out, other than like recapping news, they're also putting out like inspirational stuff. Like they had a writer come on Sunday, and she read the profile that she did on Tom Hanks, because obviously he's tested positive and is quarantined with his wife in Australia, and it was just uplifting. Like I'm listening to this thing, and I'm getting like teary-eyed as I'm out for a walk.
But the Daily had a guy on, and he was talking about coronavirus, and he said, "Listen, I've been studying, epidemics, pandemics for a very long time, back to the HIV crisis in the mid to late '80s." And he's like, "Of all the research that I've done, the coronavirus reminds me of the Spanish influenza of 1918." And I went,
I read a whole thing on that. Yeah.
uh-oh. And I was convincing my wife that we were going to buy like 2 months worth of non-perishable food. And
When was that? When you read that? When you listened to that?
Early January.
Yeah, I have to say, I mean, a lot of times people try to instill fear and things like that, and life goes on. And the reality is, people work, people have to do this. Not everyone can isolate themselves. If they have a job, they have a family. Quarantine isn't an option. If their job is still available to work, they have to work, and that's just the reality. So, I mean, we're fortunate if we get to, lock up for a minute, but it is hard. It's hard to decipher because, I had an argument with my friend. I won't say who it is, but a big director yesterday. And he was like, and he said some things, and I was just like, dude, he's like, well, you should listen to only scientists and research. I'm like, you know what? So-and-so at Johns Hopkins who's been studying medicine their whole life, I think their opinion means something. So-and-so at, this doctor and whatever, I think their opinion means something. So I like to sort of get a lot of information and then make my own decision. And it might have taken me a bit longer to go, all right, I'm not leaving my house, or I'm not going to, I'm going to really take this seriously. I think I was like going, hey, I'm cautious. But then when the shit really, really hit the fan in the last week, for sure, like all over the world, it seemed like for us at least, it just seemed like it was definitely severe, and with Italy and all that. But when it came,
it ramped though, just bang.
Then it ramped up, and you're like, whoa, this is. I didn't know what was going on.
Are you? By the way, are you enjoying? Are you enjoying the Senate and everyone deciding all of a sudden to be bipartisan?
Isn't that nice?
I'm gonna get in trouble, man. I got actually like a couple of things last night made me really mad, really, really upset, and they were sort of politically based. And I'm a very frustrated person at the best of times because I pay taxes in the United States and I'm not allowed to vote yet because I haven't spent enough time here to be able to apply for citizenship. I find that to be incredibly frustrating. But I was sort of thinking to myself, I'm like, what am I going to get out of going on Twitter and basically calling someone a war criminal? Like, am I going to get anything out of that? I don't think so.
There's a thin line, man, because at one point you have lots of fans, and you're like, you have a big following, so you say something, and your fans, you alienate some. B, the ones that love you and agree with you are gonna, But it's sort of like, for me, you're smarter than me. I try to allow people that are much brighter than myself, which is many people, to just when they're like, for instance, when who's the actor with the water, the dirty water, the movie, what's his name? He's a superhero in the Marvel movies. God.
Dirty Water?
There's a movie. Shape of Water? No. There's a movie where the water was bad in a town like Michigan, a state like Michigan or something, and he was like this lawyer who fought for them and fought for.
Aaron Brockovich?
No, Mark Ruffalo.
Got it.
Mark
Ruffalo
Ruffalo
on that one though. Okay.
He's very bright.
I met Mark Ruffalo I met him when I was in Chicago, and I got to tell him how much I enjoyed 13 going on 30. So my whole weekend was made.
He's awesome. And when I read some of his tweets, I go, all right, that's articulate. He knows what he's talking about. He's following this stuff. He's been really digging deep. Let him say something.
Sure.
I say something that's going to sound just angry.
But I mean, what makes you angry at times like this? For me, it's when I see people who I don't think are honoring what amounts to a civic responsibility right now. Right? Like, this is a real thing.
Sure.
And everyone's behavior matters. And
Absolutely.
when I see someone flaunt that or disregard it or consider themselves to be above it or not listen to smart people, like you just said, you should be.
It's okay for me to be dumb and say dumb things. It's not okay for people who are running the country and protecting people's lives to do the same.
No, it's not.
That's a completely different story. And on top of that, I mean, really, our president's just like, I'm not gonna get into it, but like until like recently, he was like, "This isn't real. This is just kills old people. This is like this." Until like there was just no leadership there. There was just the complete ignorance, and you know, so many people were dying and are dying, and it was just like, come on, man, you can't do this shit. And whether you liked Obama or not, whether you were a Democrat or a Republican, it doesn't matter. You can sit there and say, Obama was articulate, man. He was a good man. He actually, I think it didn't work out as great for him in many people's eyes because he was too good. He was actually honest. He wanted to help people. He couldn't get health care. I'm going to get into politics, but he couldn't get health care passed. So what did he have to do? Keep pushing. Nope, we're not accepting that. Nope, how about this? Accept this big piece of shit. And they'll go, okay. And then they'll say, oh, his health care thing sucked. I'm like, yeah, because you wouldn't sign anything else.
Yeah.
I'm not going to talk politics, though.
Are you sure?
I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. By the way, hi, fans. That's Am Santos there talking to you. Amen official. I love you. I'm probably talking to you. There's paola.nev. By the way, on all these handles of people's names, I wish it was easier. You ever notice when you're reading them, you just always fuck up their names? I wish it was just John.
Yeah. When I used to, back in the day when I would do like live Facebook chats or I would answer questions, all the questions would come in. No questions from like Bob Murphy.
It was things I can't read in my eyesight. Here we go. Black anus. What is that? Wait, no, black anise. What is that? I love your name. There's
eggs
Sarah
over
Sanderson.
bread. There's eggs over bread.
Julian Manuel, original snob. Okay. The Bionic Kid. I love the Bionic Kid. He's a pal of mine. So I get it. All right. We're good.
I think that you should have to have a normal username. I started a TikTok account yesterday. I still don't know what it is.
A TikTok? I don't know what TikTok is.
New do I really? I'm gonna try to figure it out. But I had to use my old handle, which is Amell because I went in to get Stephen Amell, and it was like, no, you can be Stephen Amell 8.
Well, maybe that's because didn't you do season 8 seasons?
No, it's because Stephen Amell 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7 are taken by imposters.
But you can say Stephen Amell 8 because he's referring to season 8 of Arrow.
My mom's watching right now because I just saw a message from her saying, your mother's is a good one, Sandra Bolte. Thanks, Mom.
Hey, by the way, you know what now? I'm so anal about talking to you on FaceTime that I think I probably should just put one of these on right now.
Okay.
Because I'm just kidding. Somebody just said you should take this seriously, guys. I'm like, we are taking it seriously. We're just trying to have some laughs.
Yeah.
You know, I love you too, Savannah. So does Steven here.
I do.
Yeah, I think you gotta laugh. You gotta have fun. You gotta make fun. You gotta do something. I think in times like this, you can't. I can't be around people that are always serious. I just can't.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
I'll jump off the roof.
Christ, it's exhausting. You know, like you're getting bad. Like my you know the school that my daughter goes to that's close to where both of us live. You know, they're not going to open up again until the new school year. And like when I heard that yesterday, it really fucking bums me out.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of the news that we're getting, to say nothing of the fact that, you know, there are real people that are suffering out there. It's just a constant shit sandwich.
That was the original name of my band. Left on Laurel was the sandwich, and before that we were shit sandwich. Just had to say that. But you're right. I just think it's important to, you know, it's nice that you're doing these live things. I'm doing on my Insta Live. I'm doing that in Facebook Lives now. I'm playing music, and we're playing 80s songs and 70s, and everybody's singing with me. And I think it's important. It's nice that people are playing music, and because there's no music, there's no sports, there's no Broadway, there's no the things that make this country like so USA or whatever. It's just like we come together at all these events, and now it's just we have each other, which is kind of ironic. Yeah. But now we've got to, you know, reach out.
But listen, times like this, you know, you see an explosion in creativity. Yep. You really do. And I think that's exciting. But yeah, we got to be able to laugh a little bit about it. And you were mentioning, I saw you tweet earlier. You were mentioning local Ronald McDonald houses.
Yeah, so I've been working with the Ronald McDonald House for a very long time, and the one in Los Angeles In fact, I met one of my soulmates, this kid Preston, who's amazing, and he's just like he's like my little brother now. He's 14. He has terminal cancer. He, I mean, talk about spirits. The guy is just this wonderful kid. He's on the cheer team. He's
wait a minute. Did you FaceTime me when you were with him?
Yeah, when I was in the hospital.
Cool. Yeah.
I called all my celebrity friends. I go, "Do you know Dave Bautista?" He's like, "Yeah." I go, "All right." And Dave's like, "What the fuck?" "Hey man, Rosie." I'm like, "Hey Dave, my buddy Preston." He was like, "What's going on, Preston?" And then you were talking to him, Zach Levi, John Heater, Napoleon Dynamite. All my friends were talking to him. I just went up to his house, like he lives 3 hours away, and hung out with him and his brother on his birthday. On his brother's birthday, Chandler, happy birthday, Chandler. And
yeah, you said that getting to know this kid has changed your life.
It has changed my life in a lot of ways because, you know, I think it's sometimes you have to look at the big picture, and we're so caught up in our own shit, man. It's like, you know, oh, you know, I got to get a new toy or my house, or I got to get a new this, I got to do this, it's all about what you have to do. And it's not that I'm always like that, but I think sometimes when you give energy, when you see that this kid just wants to live.
Yeah.
He just wants life. That's all he wants. And if you think about it, bare bones, that's it. You just be healthy. Just to be healthy is a gift. That's it. That's all you need. If you have your health, that's wealth.
I mean,
so,
I think I think about this all the time, how absolutely mind-blowingly lucky I am to have a healthy kiddo. Because it's like you say, you know, going to these conventions, and especially because I've done a lot of work with the charity Fuck Cancer, and try to raise a lot of money. And my mom's a 2-time survivor, and you know, I just thank whoever you think is up there, right? I thank that person every single day that I've got a healthy kid.
Yeah, and you know, it's good. It's nice to be around other people that, you know, are grateful, and you are. I always see you giving back, and I always see it, and that's just, it's not only admirable, it's like, it's contagious, for lack of a better word at this time, but it's just like, you know. And so when I go to the Ron McDonald house, man, they need help. The families, food, and all these things that they need, because remember, they're staying there while their kid's going through leukemia treatments or whatever. And so by, you know, I'll pay for meals for all these families for one night. I've done it a couple times. So, you know, getting other people to go, hey, I'm going to sponsor tonight's meal for the families at the house in Los Angeles, or whatever Ronald McDonald house near you. They need help at times like this. So,
do you know that we're selling a bunch of your wine right now?
Oh yeah, I did, guys. Yeah. I'm sure he's told you, but Tom Welling, Smallville, if you didn't recognize, I was bald at the time, but Lex Luthor and Clark Kent, we have Knocking Point One. It's our second year in a row, and it's pure evil. And I'm the pure this year. Tom's the evil. Last year he was the pure. I was the evil. But we do all these wine tastings, and we get it right how we like it, and the art and the design. It's a really cool thing that Knocking Point does.
Well, one of the reasons that I bring it up is because, you know, Walla Walla is a town of 33,000 people, and it's got a ton of small businesses, and you know, there's no two ways about it. People are gonna get crushed.
Yeah.
By this. So we're staying open. We've got one worker there a day, following all of our stuff, but we're selling as much wine as possible. We've taken off shipping because we're just trying to keep business going, trying to keep supporting people. And we're trying to do a gift card every night from a local Walla Walla restaurant to give to one of our employees.
That's awesome.
So it's just a little thing. There's a link in my bio. It's a little thing, but it's something, you know?
Absolutely. Yeah, and it's funny you say that, because you look at all these restaurants, it's like these people, whoever's a bar back or somebody's a waiter, somebody's a host, this is how they make rent. And all these restaurants and bars are closed, and you may not feel it's affecting you, proverbial you, but it's affecting everybody. It's affecting all of us, and it's tragic. So we got to think outside the box and like, hey, how can we help? You know, it's obviously you can't help everyone, but you can, you know, it's like one step at a time. Like it sucks because I do the homeless thing on Sundays, where Feed the Homeless, Food on Foot is an organization I work with, and we can't go now. Volunteers, I'm a club member, and we can't go there because of the health risks. So we can't go on Sundays to give. So now they have to cancel these things, and it's even worse for homeless people now. You think you could get any worse being homeless, but with this, it's just anyway. We're supposed to be bringing laughter.
Okay, so help me out here then. Give me some movie recommendations.
All right, my man. Horror genre. What are we talking?
You tell me.
What's your favorite movie?
Well, if you've never seen the original Dudley Moore Arthur, I'm not saying that.
I fucking love that movie. It is
Dude,
so good.
I'm not saying take a hit off marijuana. You don't have to do that, or a sip of whiskey. If
You know
you
what?
want, great.
Are you residing in the state of California?
I live in
By all
California.
means.
I can do that. Okay.
Go for it.
Rose Merced. I can't read it. See, Rose Merced. Head Desde Columbia. So I could say that. Dudley Moore Arthur. It's hilarious.
Have you seen Dudley Moore in 10?
Oh yeah, Bo Derek.
Derek.
Good. But Arthur's great. He's got the best lines ever.
Yeah.
He's with this prostitute. She's like, I'm a prostitute. You're a hooker. I thought I was doing so good with you. And
Is that what is Liza Minnelli in that movie?
Yeah, Liza Minnelli.
Okay. All right.
What else?
Have you seen Brewster's Millions?
Oh, great. Brewster's Million, Richard Pryor, and
John Candy.
No, John Candy, Richard Pryor? Or just John Candy?
Both of them.
Richard Pryor, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, hang on. I mean, if you want scary, definitely like something that's not too old. It Follows. It's pretty creepy.
Okay.
If you don't like horror, though, admit it.
I like horror. My dad
Insidious?
got in a fight with my friend's dad. Like I think I'm pretty sure that it was close to an actual fist fight because they let me watch Nightmare on Elm Street 3 when I was like in first grade.
Nightmare on Elm Street. Yeah, that's probably not a good idea. See, my mom used to do that too. She didn't have anybody to watch horror movies with, so she took her 7-year-old boy, me, and would say, "Oh, I bought Motel Hell today, and Return of the Living Dead, and Make Them Die Slowly. Which one do you want to watch, Michael?" So this is why I still have an alarm system, a bat, 2 dogs. I lock my doors. I mean, I blame her. But for some reason, I do love horror movies and really cheesy 70s and 80s music. And that's because of my mother.
Okay.
But other movies, I'd say, look, if you haven't seen, like,
Vacation.
Breakfast Club, they're sort of locked in. So that's kind of symbolic.
Is that John? Should we basically just go through the entire John Hughes collection?
I mean, really, John Hughes is one of my favorites. 16 Candles.
Yeah.
What else did John Hughes? Home Alone, he wrote it, right?
He wrote Home. Chris Columbus directed Home Alone.
Right.
John Hughes did the.
But he wrote it.
Yes, he did. Yeah. Christmas Vacation. I know it's not that time of year, but that's him as well.
That's a good. That's not John Hughes, is it? Are you sure?
No.
You know what's funny? Dude, I gotta tell you this. So, I had this guy Oliver Hudson. You know the actor Oliver Hudson?
I don't.
Well, he's a good actor. He's a great friend. I've known him for a long time. Actually, the girl that I was in love with many years ago, she broke up with me and then she married him. But we're still friends.
Okay.
It was years ago. I was a child. Doesn't matter.
Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
Also true that John Hughes
wrote Christmas Vacation? No.
I searched John Hughes movies.
All right.
Thank you.
See, I don't think.
Screenplay by John Hughes.
God! So I have Oliver Hudson on. His mom is Goldie Hawn. His dad, his stepdad who raised him, is Kurt Russell.
Kurt Russell. That guy's a dude. He did a great podcast with Bill Simmons.
Dude,
it's just a real pleasure to listen to.
First of all, I love him. He did this movie called Bone Tomahawk, which it feels like it's a Western, and then it turns into a horror movie. It's awesome. I remember seeing him at some party. Not many people there, and I just didn't want to bother him. I go, "Hey, man, Bone Tomahawk.
Yeah.
Best movie of the year." And I walked away. He goes, "Whoa. Come here for a second. I agree with you. Why do you love this movie?" And we sat there and talked for like 40 minutes. And Oliver was like, "That's funny because he doesn't really like to get into things or talk to people." So I said, "Kurt Russell, Goldie Hawn." At the end of the podcast, I go, because I ask questions like this. I go, "Do any of your friends ask Goldie Hawn or Kurt Russell, like ask you for autographs to get them autographs?" He goes, "No." I go, "Do any of your friends in the history of your friendship with them ever say, hey, Escape from New York, could your dad sign that? He goes, no one's ever asked you. He's like, no one's ever asked me. And I go, okay. And he goes, why? And I go, he goes, do you want something signed? I go, well, he goes, you could have anything you want signed. So right here in these tubes are, I got an Escape from New York, 2 original posters that I had to search for.
Wicked.
I got Overboard. I got The Thing. I got like 5 posters, and I text him. I go, hey, I just spent $2,000 on posters. He's like, you're an idiot. I go, but you promised me, so you're going to get him signed. I mean, that's how it is, man. Escape, The Thing. If you want to watch a fun horror movie while you're sitting around, The Thing is awesome.
Big Trouble in Little China, speaking of Kurt Russell.
Oh, yeah, man.
John Hughes also did Planes, Trains, and Automobiles.
Planes, Trains, and Automobiles, John Hughes.
Yep, Dirty Rotten Scoundrels.
Dirty Rotten Scoundrels.
Uncle Buck.
Uncle Buck.
Weird Science.
Weird Science.
Oh, man.
Give me one line from 16 Candles, can you?
Never seen it.
What? You would love that movie, man. Oh, sexy girlfriend. Dude, you're going to love that movie. The Thing is so extra awesome. Look at your fans. Uncle Buck, Chris Phillips, Rocket Squirrel. Uncle Buck is awesome. The Larkinator. Watch Peppa Pig. Why on Netflix is only season 6 of Arrow? You got a lot of people wondering about a lot of questions about Arrow.
Yeah, I don't know when season 7. Frankly, I don't know when it. I know nothing about Netflix.
Hey, by the way, I know you
Yeah.
you probably talked about it a lot, but is this wrestling show going to be awesome?
Yeah, man, it's going to be really good. I've read 4 of the 8 scripts so far. We've got an amazing cast, and thus far, just have nothing but the nice things to say about everyone at Stars. Like, their CEO reached out to me on Twitter, just like because we follow each other, DM'd me and was just like, "Hey, I hope you're good." It's nice.
Dude, that never happens.
Yeah. Listen, I've been fortunate enough, with Greg Berlanti, with Peter Roth, with Mark Pedowitz. I've gotten to work for really, really, really great people.
Good relationships. That's good.
Really good relationships, and people that seem to genuinely, like Pedowitz in particular. Peter Roth would always take me out for lunch at the end of the season and chat. How you doing? Pedowitz, would always call and ask how my family was.
I think, by the
Same
way, to me,
know.
that's exactly how people who run companies. You want the people, your employees, to work better. Treat them like human beings. Talk to them. Send them a text. Your same thing you do with your fans. I do with my fans. It's like, hey, what's going on? It's talking to them. It's like not, I think that's cool. That's how you build relationships.
Yeah, man. Well, this has been really fun. I'm going to sit down. We're going to watch, my daughter, my wife, and I are going to watch Remember the Titans.
Oh, that's a good one. I think that's a good one. Is that a good one?
Yes.
It's got Denzel Washington in it. That's all you
Who's going to cry first? You, the wife, or the kid?
I'm pretty emotional these days. Probably me. My daughter won't cry unless she literally falls and hurts herself while she's watching the movie.
I'm emotional these days too. I can easily, something could hit me and I'll just I'll get.
But not in a bad way. It's the best way to put this. In an affectionate way. We sat down for a big group FaceTime with 11 people yesterday, and I was just happy to be talking to people. It was really nice.
Yeah. What I don't like is we live close together, so when this is all over, we're gonna go do something.
Okay.
When you get back, and if there's any cool role, it heals.
Listen, man, you have my support at all times.
I could play. Look at my hair right now. It's like I could be like a walking. Look, your wrestling sucks. You gotta do something better with that. That flip you do, it's redundant. Hey, I love you.
Love you too, buddy.
What? Oh yeah, guys, before you go, gotta plug my podcast. Is that all right, Steven?
Yes, please go right ahead.
If you guys are bored, Steven loves it. He's been on twice. You got to hear at least him. Subscribe, do whatever. I think you're gonna enjoy it and support
Also
me.
take a look
Thanks.
at the wine.
Oh yeah. What?
Very nice way to pass the time. Very, very
It
nice
is.
way.
Yeah, dude. By the way, I cried. Jamie Lynn Sigler from Sopranos made me cry. I actually cried on the podcast. I mean, I had a tear dripping down. Oh yeah, dude. She got me good, man.
I met her. She's lovely, very pretty. I met her. Gosh, I can't remember. Probably close to 10 years ago now.
And she's got MS, dude, and she is so strong.
Really?
She's got MS. She's got, yeah, she has kids, and she's like,
Yep.
she just fights through it, man. And her story is amazing. She was telling me the story. She was like, her friends. Well, I could tell him this is one of the stories. Her friends took her home for her birthday to her house, and they all wanted to just talk to her and tell her what they thought of her. And she was like, what? Okay. And one of her friends goes, I know we all think that you think that sometimes you might slow us down or you might whatever, and we'll carry you over our fucking shoulders. We are with you. And whatever, the way she said it, that's what got me emotional. And I was like, it just froze. I was frozen. I was just like, God, that's beautiful right there. That's just, it was one of those little nuances. But dude, I'll come on anytime. You got to come on live when I go live. I love you.
Love you too.
And be safe. Love to the family. Love to all you guys out there. Thanks for
all right,
hearing us riff.
Of course, buddy. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Okay, hang on. All right. Huge thank you to Michael for coming on. Always love chatting with him. He always makes me get way more personal than I expected I'm going to, but I think that's one of the reasons why you should check out his podcast. Again, it's Inside of You. It's on iTunes. I'm on a couple of times. Zach Levi's on a couple of times. He just does really good interviews. Really, really good interviews. So I will try to be back tomorrow at 11 o'clock. Sorry that was a bit delayed this morning, but dad duty calls sometimes, you know? Love to everyone. Stay safe. Listen to smart people. And I'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.